Hello guys, a very warm welcome. It's Chuma here, back with another video, and for today I thought I would share my 5 power tips when getting braids done in Africa, especially Zambia. Like, these are the 5 tips that I feel like you need to live by if you're going to get your braids done, if you're going to get like any cute extension style done, like when you land it in Africa, any part of it, but especially Zambia, and you just want to look cute in your fresh braids. Like, before that happens, before you start taking the pictures and all of that good stuff, there are things that you need to know that will help your hairline that will help your hair in general. I've collated some information that will be very useful for you guys to be able to know, because trust me, I learned. So if you want to be able to find out what the 5 power tips are, then stick around. Alright guys, here we go. Do your research is power tip number 1. So always go prepared by way of doing your research. So what I did this time around for these braids is I asked a few people who were local. I reached out to Chica because she's been rocking braids since I think she's been in Zambia. Like, I've just seen her in her blue braids, so I know she's going somewhere to get them done, and I needed to know like who she was using. So go with somebody who has recently got their hair braided, is currently in braids, and who comes with a high recommendation. Not just anybody that did your hair anyhow. Like, Chica broke it down and like she gave me, go to here, they'll take this long, they'll charge you this much. Another person I went to was Lulu, who is an amazing hairstylist in her own right, but obviously she styles natural hair braids. So she'll do like full buns and stuff like that, but she doesn't do braids. She recommended a salon, but for me, I'm lastminute.com, so I didn't fully prep. And this was like the Monday morning where I was trying to figure out where I was gonna go, and mind you, like, I wanted to get it done as early as possible, so I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, but I didn't give myself enough time because I needed to have been getting ready to leave at that time instead of me actually looking for a place at that time. The first day didn't work out. It was in Kawata, so I thought, okay, let me go there. And then like, it was an established salon, a whole detached building on its own in Kawata. So again, like, the preconceived notions when you're thinking about going into Kawata, I thought I was going into the market area, I thought I was going into the trenches. So I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't that. But by the time I got there like about 9:30, 10. They were already busy. Like, they were already working on heads, and I mean not even 1 or 2 heads, there were like 4 going at the same time. So she's telling me she's not able to start my hair until noon. So that's not what I wanted, because I wanted to be in and out as quickly as possible. So I was like, oh, should I go somewhere else? I felt like, oh, this will be a mistake if like I've come all this way. Kawata's a little bit further from Charleston. It's like about 25 half an hour drive, so like that's Uber money and everything. Well, Ulendo, but you know what I mean. I waited until 12:30. They started on my hair. Why I'm telling this story is it's essential to be prepared. Like, make sure you've done your research, make sure that you pick a salon beforehand so you know that you're just going there to start your hair, especially if you don't have patience, you don't have all day, you don't want to use up all of your holiday time being in the salon getting your hair done. For me, I was just like, I wanted the 3 hours that somebody promised me. Like, I wanted the 3 hours, and I wanted to be done after that. So being in the salon in Kawata, I was like, okay, they're already wasting my time. And then she gets to blowing my hair, and then she gets to starting to plait my hair, but I don't like the way she's plaiting it, and I make it very evident. I say very clearly, like, I don't like it. She has to remove it, and then there's somebody else that comes in to braid my hair. She does it perfectly, but now there's another customer there talking about, no, I was here first, like, I only want Vicky to do my hair, Vicky was the only person that got what I was trying to do, like, she's the only person. So I said, no, I'm not doing my hair, and I walked out. And it's okay for you to be able to do that. That's why it's important to do your research, because I pretty much wasted a whole day. Like, I went back home not having done my hair because I went all the way into town. By the time like I got out of there about 2:30, I went into the marketplace to get some chitenges. I went to treat myself. I went to Burger Boss because I was feeling uber depressed that I didn't get my hair done. and like I had to start all over again from scratch the next day. So the first thing I would say is do your research, read reviews, look at recommendations. Do they have an Instagram page? Do they have a Facebook? Read what people are saying about them and whether they come highly recommended, and then go from there. The second power tip I would say is prep your hair. Now you can prep your hair in two ways. Either prepping your hair by washing and deep conditioning. It's very important that you deep condition before you actually get your hair braided, because it will be a while before it comes to your next wash day. So you can DIY that, and then if you wanted to go into their salon and then have them blow dry your hair, that's absolutely fine. But also ensuring that you have well stretched hair before you actually go in to get your hair braided is so essential, because it will be less painful, it will be more manageable for them, and that's how it comes out nice and neat. Alternatively, you can go into the salon to get your hair washed, conditioned and blow dried. In short, again, we've touched on that research. Do they cater to natural hair? Will they meet your natural hair needs? If you feel like they won't be up to par, then what I recommend is when you're going to get your hair washed and deep conditioned, take your own products, okay? Because you don't want to walk in there and they're using a shampoo with whatchamacallit name on it and a deep conditioner from where did you get that from? Like, you do not want that. So go fully prepped so that you can then instruct them on how they can manage your hair for you. Like, you have to give people instruction and how you want it to be done. I will keep mentioning Chica because she keeps giving you the tea on everything that's happening in Soko right now, and one of her latest videos is talking about her hair experience and her getting her hair done there and a few of the different places that she has tried. Check out the video. Highly recommended. The link is below. If they are going to blow dry it for you, again, take a hair protectant. Take a serum. You know the one I usually use, the ORS olive oil serum. I don't have it here behind me because it's in Zambia. I left it there. You tell them to apply this before you blow dry it. I actually DIY'd. So I washed and deep conditioned at home, and then I went into the hair salon to get my hair blow dried. If you are going to DIY the whole process, your whole wash day process, just make sure that your hair is well stretched. That's what I would say would be tip number 2, is prep your hair and prep it well when you're going in to actually get your hair done. So tip number 3 is know what hair you're going to use. Again, this will help if you are fully prepared and you get your expressions or whatever you're going to use beforehand. Like, they're very affordable to be able to get in Lusaka, but also just know like what hair you want to be able to use before you go in and get your hair done. And why I'm saying this is because like they will ask you, do you have your own hair? They normally have packs ready, especially if you're near market. So if you're gonna go get your hair done in Kawata, if you're gonna go get your hair done in Northmead, they will have hair that will be there that they will sell. And depending on how sensitive your skin is, especially if you haven't used it before, having it beforehand, why that's important is that it allows you to prep. Like, I feel like the moral of the story all the way through these tips is going to be preparation is key, guys. Like, that's going to be the main aim of the game, is preparation is key. For some people, they actually want to be able to clarify or cleanse their extensions before they actually use them. You can put it in apple cider vinegar and it just rinses all of that gunk out. But if you're lazy like me and you're not really fast and you're okay with using hair as it is out the pack, then that's absolutely fine as well. Buy it and then pack it with you when you're coming. Or you can go with the wigs that the hair salon sell. With the wigs that the hair salons, I'm calling it a wig because that's what we call it. With the wigs that the hair salons sell, you have to know that that's it. That's the only brand that they'll have. If it's a bigger like salon, they may have different options, but that's it. Because even like where I ended up getting my hair done, they only had this Afro Kinky, I can't even remember the brand that it was that they used, so this is it. But guys, if I tell you, this hair is so heavy. I've never experienced hair this heavy before. Literally, like, even talking to you now, I literally have to stretch every so often because it's just like, I mentioned this in my other video, it's just heavy hair. So definitely know what hair you're going to use if you're going to prep it beforehand, and then when you get into the hair salon, they can just get on with doing your hair. So tip number 4 is have a consultation with your hairstylist. Now, it might not be a comprehensive consultation, they might not go into depth. This works the other way around depending on the type of hairstyle that you're going into, because generally, like, they're not even going to offer a consultation. You just go in, you say what you want, if you have your hair good or well, and then they start off. But I think like it's so important to set expectations right from the beginning. So establish A, how long a certain style is going to take, and then that's important. B, look at the type of style as well that you want. So just be able to make sure that they are able to do that style. If they have a hair chart, then use that as a guide. They'll have like different sizes of the braid that they'll have on it, just to be able to see what type of size that you're aiming for. If they don't actually have a chart, then come with references, come with pictures of how you want it, the size that you want it, and make it clear. Have that consultation for them. Just break down your expectations, what you want them to do, establish like how long it will take for them to be able to do it, and then go from there. Also, when they do start braiding, that's not the time that you should be sleeping. Have somebody there with you. Like, if you can take a friend, let them keep you company and let them keep watch as well of what is going on. Why I mention that is when they start braiding, they can start braiding anyhow, and they can start catching your hair the way it doesn't need to be caught. And I wish I could explain this to you properly, but I'll share a picture with you guys. So this was taken at the first salon that I walked out of, because they weren't catching my hair the way it needed to be caught, and they kept saying that there's some bits of my hair, the baby hairs, that they wanted to catch as well, and I was removing those so that they only caught the part of the hair that needed to be caught, basically. And like, that's what I was so particular about. There's a way of catching the hair where you put all of the hair in at once, but the way she was braiding it, it's almost as if she was coming down as a cane row, and I didn't want it as that, because what happens is that there's a lack of movement. So with this hair, for example, the way she's catching my hair, this hair is going in, this hair is going in, that hair is going in, that hair is going in. But there's some salons or some places where they braid down, so which means that she would have started braiding down here, so it would make it hard for me to do this. That's not what you want, because you want to be able to have these braids as flexible as possible, so that when they become looser, you can then start playing around with different styles and stuff. Now, if a person's cane rode your hair in one direction and it's hard for you to be able to lift up, down, or whatever, it causes tension for one, and it starts to create breakage for two. It's the whole point of it being called a protective style. Catch it in, so it's protecting all of your hair in one. So that's the reason why it's so important to have a consultation, and to also be awake when they are doing your hair. So when you can feel if something isn't right, there's a difference between it being tight and your hair being caught in a certain way. You have to pay attention. That's tip number 4, is just to make sure that you obviously have that consultation and you are mindful, like you're wide awake while you're getting your hair done, just so that you know how your hair is being caught, you know that the size is right, you know that the partings are as you want them. So tip number 5 is relative, to be honest, depending on the style that you want, but ensure that they keep to time. And I know we will joke all the time about us having African time, black people time, where we promise one thing and then you end up getting another. It's unacceptable behavior, guys, and it's not great customer service. It's not. So if you say a style is going to take 3.5 hours, if you believe that that person's hair is thicker than usual, if you believe that the style that they want, that you thought in your head was going to take you 3.5 hours, you manage those expectations. You say, actually, it's going to take 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Not now you're sitting there, you're waiting to be done at a certain time and you're nowhere near being done. That was my frustration. This was initially like the salon I was supposed to have gone to, but I ended up in Kawata, right? That became a bomb. So the next day I woke up nice and early. They opened at 7:30. I said I'll be there. I got up at 6, got ready. Now what I didn't anticipate was the early morning traffic. Even though school was out, I hadn't experienced leaving the house that early before, so I didn't anticipate the traffic. So by the time I get there, it's about 8:30. I was obviously the first one there. She's ready, good to go. I'm just like, alright, this is starting off positive, on a good note, whatever. She blows dries my hair a little bit. That's absolutely fine. It's still got protectant in it. I'm okay for her to do that. And then she shows me the hair that she's going to use. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with it, cool. It's a color one, but you know, we're rocking with it at this point. It's what it is. Then it's just kind of like time keeps ticking, and mind you, we started at 8:30 a.m. I said, okay, cool, it'll be nice. Even if I finish by 11:30, I'm still good, you know. And then time keeps rolling. I was at that that point the only customer for like a good 2 hours. There was another person sleeping on the sofa, just cash. And I'm like, okay, at this point I'm not even complaining about that part of it. By about noon, my brother calls me because we had an appointment. Like, time, let's go. It just hit them on the 9th hour that I was the person that was not intent on staying there until 5 o'clock from when I got there at 8:30, that they clocked that on, she's got somewhere to be or whatever. And then they're hearing me make these calls talking about maybe by this time, and I keep saying how long before they then get 5 different people, one of the fast ones, to now start finishing off my hair. I was thoroughly upset. People just need to respect time a little bit more in Africa. People need to respect time a little bit more in Lusaka, Zambia. Can I just say that? You just need a trusted person and maybe have somebody come to your house, because that's what my sister-in-law does. But obviously me wanting the full experience and all of that good stuff, I was like So tip number 5 is ensure that they stick to time. And if you feel that they're running behind time in any way, do not be afraid to ask them to get some help. Like, they will get some help to ensure that you need to be in and out when you need to be in and out for. And I feel like she did do a great job. People keep giving me compliments about how neat it is. I think it's just kind of like, it just missed the finesse and the tender loving care to be able to kind of make it an overall good experience. But for the most part, I would definitely recommend them. And Chika has mentioned it in her video. They are Unit 29 in Corner Mall, opposite Melissa Supermarket in Northmead. So you can go down and check them out. But aside from that, like, Chika has a lot more places that she is recommending over in her video, so definitely do check those out as well. And my bonus tip, guys, I feel like this is like, it's not even a bonus tip, this is just an extra additional, please do this. Like, don't play games, do not play games with your life. What I would recommend is to do your braids at the beginning of the trip, ideally. If you want to be able to take like cute pictures and all that kind of stuff and then do your hair, that's absolutely fine. Like, settle in, all that stuff. But give yourself time for your head to get used to the braids. I literally, like, I got done the Tuesday and I was flying out Wednesday 2 a.m. so I hadn't even settled a whole day in my hair before I had to maneuver, try and do this and that to try and get used to it to then fly. I just got on a flight. I couldn't move. It was so uncomfortable. Like, being on a flight was so painful. It was just like, I could not move. It's not a joke. And what I would recommend, my bonus tip, is to get your hair done as early as possible into the trip. If you can, you settle into the braids. If you want them to be fresh, then I would say do them 3 or 4 days before you're actually going to fly out. That's what I would recommend, because you don't want to be playing games with traveling with fresh, brand new braids, because it's painful. So to recap, number 1 is do your research. Number 2 is prep your hair, wash and condition, all of that good stuff. Number 3 is know what hair you're going to use. Number 4 is have a consultation with the hairstylist so that you both manage expectations. Number 5 is ensure that they do stick to that time. So it links in, part of the consultation is obviously knowing the style that you're going to do, ideally knowing how long it's going to take, and obviously ensuring that they are sticking to that time. And the bonus tip is ensure that you get your hair done ideally at the beginning of your trip, or at least 4 days before you are actually flying out. So important. Your hair, your head will thank you for it and all of that good stuff. Okay guys, and that is it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Also, drop me the comments below. Can we share our hair experiences, please? Like, if you've got your braids done recently in any part of Africa, drop me a line. I definitely want to be able to read stories, especially the funny ones. The funnier the better. I hope that you can woe with me and my sorrows. If this is the first time that you're joining me, or you're returning and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that red button so that you never miss a beat. Also, turn on the auto notification bell. That way you know every single time I post a video. Alright guys, and until next time, bye!